Hey everyone, today we're back with another roundup of some of my favorite travel and everyday carry gear. We're getting close to the end of the year, so it's that time where people may be planning for an upcoming trip or looking for ideas as we head into the holiday season. And so I wanted to share some of the accessories that I've really been enjoying as of late. Some of these are items that I've mentioned in the past and some are a little newer, but hopefully there's a nice variety here to provide some inspiration as you start to plan for any upcoming occasions. I suppose this could be a gift guide of sorts, just to provide some kind of ideas. So excited to dive in. Before doing so, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Flashlights are always one of my favorite accessories because they're super useful. They offer a ton of interesting features and form factors, and they don't have to take up a ton of space. They can even fit on your keychain, like this option from Olight that I have here. I've seen this in a ton of different videos, and I was finally so curious that I picked one of them up for myself, and I can see why they're so popular. This is such a clever flashlight. It takes up so little space. It comes with a little carabiner that you can attach to your keychain, and then the way that it works is with magnets, which is always fun. And so you can pull this off, and when you pull off the top, it turns the flashlight on. It provides a nice amount of illumination for its form factor, and it's got a magnetic end, so you can attach this to various surfaces if you need hands-free lighting. And then once you attach it back to the end, it automatically turns off. This is a pretty secure magnet, so it doesn't feel like it's gonna fall off accidentally. And then the other end is a USB that allows you to charge it, so that keeps things very simple. And yeah, this is just a really nice, super fun, useful object that I've attached to my keychain. I love that it's there for when I need it, and this is definitely gonna be the type of thing that I really enjoy gifting because it also comes in at a pretty reasonable price. One of my favorite accessories for travel or my day-to-day is some sort of USB-C hub that allows me to charge multiple devices at once. I've had many of these over the years. It's something that I always have in my bags. And here I've been experimenting with a couple of new options. I really love how many different ways companies are finding to kind of offer these types of solutions. So here I have one from UGREEN, which has collapsible prongs, so you can easily plug it into the wall and then just make it a little bit easier to pack up as well. And then you have USB-C ports and a USB-A port. But what's really unique about this one is that it also has a built-in retractable USB-C cable, which I absolutely love. I can actually charge my MacBook and a couple of other devices, and then when I'm ready to go, I just retract the cable, place it in my bag. And so it's just a really cool, minimal package. I always love anything that allows me to consolidate functionality and reduce the amount of cables or adapters that I need to carry with me. So I've been a big fan of this one. It is a little bit on the heavier side, but I feel like you get a lot of value, and it's just a really cool kind of idea. And then the other option that I've really been liking is this USB-C hub from Hyper. I've talked about the Hyper Pack a lot on the channel, but they also have a lot of really great tech accessories. This one really caught my eye because it has the form factor that I've used with other similar gear in the past, but seem to offer a good amount of performance, 3 USB-C ports as well as a USB-A port. What really stood out to me about this one though is that it actually includes adapters for various countries that you may be traveling to. And so you can actually pack these up, swap them out when you need to, and then you actually have an international travel friendly USB hub, which is really great. Normally I have to take an extra adapter with me, and so this is kind of an interesting alternative. This is also pretty heavy, but this form factor allows it to fit pretty comfortably into most bags, and then I feel like you get a lot of value with just being able to swap out the plug that you need. They also have this adapter that allows you to connect to an extension cable if you need a little bit more distance. And so, both of these are just kind of additional things that I've really enjoyed tossing into my bag and having with me whenever I need to keep my devices powered up. A passport wallet like this new option from Pakt Design can be a great way to keep your documents and money handy while you're traveling. Like other Pakt Design gear, this has a very sleek aesthetic with some really interesting materials. This uses Pakt Design's Terra Shell, which is going to offer a lot of durability. It's very weather resistant material. It's also going to allow you to really stuff the wallet out without it stretching or losing its shape. And so, really interesting fabric here. It's offered in a few different colors. And then one of the things that I really like about it is that it uses magnets to help keep the wallet secure, especially when it's a little bit more full. It's nice to know that it's going to stay closed. And then you have a really slim form factor on this. At the moment, I actually have 2 passports in here, some cash and credit cards, and it's still something that would easily fit into my pants pocket. It's also designed to pair with Pakt Design's roller suitcase and their travel backpack. It fits right into that front quick access pocket, which is super nice. And so, it's always really nice to have something that can hold a lot without feeling super bulky. And then the functionality here is really nice. You have one slip pocket on the outside that's gonna be great if you wanna, store your passport so that you can get to it a little bit more quickly. It also allows you to hold up to 3 passports if you use that quick access pocket and the rest of the wallet isn't super packed out. And then the material also includes RFID protection. And opening this up, you have a pretty straightforward layout here. On one side, you have the passport holder kind of sleeves, and you're able to hold 2 passports in that sleeve, which is what I have here. So those are able to fit comfortably. It doesn't feel like the compartment is exploding. And then on the other side, you have a couple of slots for credit cards. And so I always find this helpful for frequently used credit cards, my global entry card. And so you have a couple of different slots here, one on the front, one on the back, and these have a nice amount of elasticity, so you can add up to 8 cards, I believe. And then in the middle, you have a small slot that can be paired with a slim pen. This isn't included with the wallet. This is another one that I had from a different passport wallet that I like to use, but just wanted to showcase that you actually have the slot for that. And then you also have the ability to store a variety of different types of currency. So you can see here that there's some leftover space, and there's also a lot of capacity here. So if you're traveling with a lot of cash, this can accommodate that. Of course, depending on how much cash or how many cards or how many passports you're using, the volume can kind of vary. So, that's one of the benefits that comes with the flexibility that this includes. And, in general, it does what I really need a passport wallet to do. It, provides the storage, the access in a more kind of slim profile. And if you're looking for a sleek, durable passport wallet, I think this is gonna be a really cool option to take a look at. As I've mentioned in many other videos, a portable battery is always a great thing to have in your bag, and there are tons of different options on the market. I've always had great experiences with Anker's battery. I've had one that I've been using for many years, and I recently upgraded to kind of the newer version of that same model. So it's gonna offer a pretty slim form factor with a good amount of capacity. I believe that this comes in at about 10,000 milliamps, and so it's gonna be able to charge my phone very easily. It's MagSafe compatible, so I can just attach it to the back. It still has a USB-A and USB-C port. And one of the most important things for me with these has been the fact that some of them include a way to stand up your phone. So this one has a built-in kickstand, which allows me to attach my phone, and then I can use it to actually watch something while I'm on a plane or I'm at a coffee shop or something like that. And so multi-purpose device that, helps keep my device charged, doesn't take up a ton of space. And so if you're interested in a power bank that's gonna work well for you, this is gonna be a great option to take a look at. In addition to their bags, Aer has always had a great collection of pouches, whether it's for your tech, everyday carry, or your toiletries. They had a really interesting variety, and now they've added the Simple Kit, which is a really interesting option that also seems to be part of a trend that's happening amongst a couple of different companies where they're releasing pouches that are, as the name implies, a little bit simpler, which also makes them very versatile. And so with the Simple Kit, you have a really cool material here. This one is Ultra. It's offered in a couple of different colors. I have the white colorway here. You can see that sort of Ultra texture, which is durable. It also offers a nice amount of weather resistance. You have the well-protected zippers. So everything feels very high quality. You have some nice tactile zipper pulls, a loop that will allow you to easily pull this out of a bag or hang it with a carabiner, clip it on in a variety of different ways. And I really love this form factor because it's something that's very adaptable. It doesn't have a super rigid structure, so when it's not full, it can be flattened down so that it easily fits into a tighter spot in your bag, but it also has some volume to it, so when you fill it up, it can adapt to larger accessories, and because of the Ultra fabric, it also manages to stand up pretty well on its own when it's loaded out. Aer actually has a larger version of this pouch that came out a while back, which is a great option in its own right. It also is meant to be used as a sling bag, but to me this Simple Kit is really kind of the sweet spot as far as a size that can work well for so many different things. And so diving in, at the moment I have more of a tech pouch setup with this. So you have a small compartment on the front that, it's gonna be great for holding something like my AirPods. I also have an extra wired set of headphones, which I always carry with me. So, nice amount of space there. And then you have the spacious main compartment where I just tossed in a bunch of different things. I have my mouse, a portable battery, a charging cable for my phone, my tablet, another USB-C cable. Could easily toss in my laptop charger for my MacBook, a USB-C hub, you know, so things that are a little bit bulkier, but then this can also work as a toiletry bag. This is gonna be able to handle the normal toiletries that I carry. I like that it offers some separation between the compartments to make things easy to find. Now that it's empty, you can really see how flat this manages to get. And so if I'm not carrying as much stuff or I want to use this for smaller items, it won't take up a ton of extra space, but then it will expand out for those bulkier things when needed. And yeah, I just really love the flexibility that this provides. The size, it's just something that I can toss in pretty much anywhere and will adapt to the items that I'm going to be taking. And in addition to that, it comes in at a pretty reasonable price. And so if you're looking for an accessory that you'll be able to use for so many different things, I think this is going to be one of the best options that you can take a look at. An insulated water bottle is always a great accessory to have to help keep you hydrated throughout the day. I've collected quite a few of these over the years, and this one really caught my eye because it had one particularly unique accessory, which is that it has a magnetic phone holder on the lid. So this is something that you can pop up and then you can use it to hold your phone, which I think is super useful. When I first saw it, I was a little confused, but then as I started to think about it, I realized just how nice it would be to have a stand that I could use for my phone to either watch videos, to take a conference call, and you know, the additional height provided by the water bottle gives it a good angle. I've seen pictures of this being used for working out, and you know, I think that it's just a nice idea as a water bottle. Is something that I always have with me so I don't have to carry an extra piece of gear. I talk about that a lot in my videos, of just finding multi-purpose gear that I can use for different things. And so this one does that very well. You have a couple of different angles that you can adjust this to. It's a MagSafe compatible top, so I'm able to just place my phone there. It's a secure hold, and then it also just works great as a water bottle. You have this push opening here so that you can get to your water when you need to. Because it's insulated, it's gonna help keep your drinks cold. And then you have this nice cover at the bottom. It's got kind of this silicone cover, so it's got a little bit of a grippy texture and can also provide some protection if you happen to drop it. This is offered in a couple of different colors and sizes. The size that I have here is the 24-ounce one, which you know is the size that I normally like to have, as I find that it works well with a lot of different water bottle pockets. You can place it in a cup holder in my car. And so, you know, just a lot of great uses for water bottles in general. And then I love that it has the phone holder at the top. And so if you're in the market for a new water bottle, this is definitely gonna be a great one to take a look at. Like flashlights, multi-tools are something that I find super useful, and I really enjoy kind of the unique options that are available on the market. I'm always on the lookout for new kind of cool designs, particularly anything that's a little bit smaller that still offers a nice amount of functionality for its form factor. And that's why I was very excited with this option that I found here, which is, you know, basically a small screwdriver, and it comes with a set of bits that you can either carry with you if you want to take the full set, but you can actually store your most commonly used bits in the handle here if you need to. And then you actually have two ways that you can use this. So you can put one of the bits at the top. You can also put it on the side. So depending on whatever you're trying to fix or adjust. So I really like the flexibility that's provided there, that you can store them, and then you have a little handle so that you can attach this somewhere. And it's just such a small, simple item, but honestly, this is one of the things that I would probably use the most. I'm always, you know, finding screws or drawers or something that I need to adjust, and I always just want something like this that has a couple of bits that I can reach quickly, that I can toss into a bag. And so if you're looking for a multi-tool that's gonna offer a cool design, this is gonna be a very interesting option to consider. Another multi-tool that I've had my eye on recently is this compact option from SOG, which seemed to offer an impressive amount of functionality in a form factor that felt smaller than a typical Leatherman. And so here you have something that feels very solidly built. You have a pocket clip. The size really allows it to work well for, you know, kind of placing into any bag, a pocket, a pouch. And then, you know, it just offers a lot of really cool features. One of the things that I really liked was that when this is closed, you can actually use this to hold bits, so a screwdriver or something like that. And then it also has a corkscrew, which I haven't seen on a ton of different multi-tools, so I thought that was a pretty cool idea. And then exterior access to a variety of tools, scissors, a knife, a little ruler, and then you can open this up and you have a handy set of pliers. So just a really versatile tool. It's not gonna take up a ton of space. And if you're looking for, you know, something that feels solidly built, this is gonna be a fantastic option to take a look at. Slings seem to be getting more and more popular every year, and there's tons of different options on the market, various sizes, form factors, and although I typically prefer using a backpack, If I have to use a sling, one of the ones that I always reach for first is the Evergoods Civic Access Sling. I just love the style and the form factor. Here I have the one that was part of the Clued collaboration that was done with Carryology, but even the regular version of the Civic Access Sling is just fantastic. It's got Evergoods' typical minimal style, very rugged materials, really solid zippers, and it's very comfortable to wear. You have this breathable material on the back panel, really nice adjustable strap. One thing that I'm not crazy about with this sling is that I can't really hide or remove the strap, which is, something that I would really love to see, just that I kind of treat this as a tech pouch. But when I'm wanting something that actually works as a sling, this actually just fits very comfortably. You can wear it on the front, on the back, and it's also one of the slings that I'm actually able to use comfortably as a waist pack, which is one of the things that I really like about it. And then the organization on it is also super useful. You have a compartment on the back that's gonna be a little closer to your body, so it'll be great for any of those more sensitive items like your phone, a wallet, maybe a passport. You have a couple of slip pockets here, as well as a zippered mesh pocket with additional organization, so for all of your tech, other items that you're reaching for regularly. I like slings as a travel accessory, as I can wear this to easily reach my wallet, my documentation while I'm going through the airport, have this on the flight. And then the front compartment is really where the Civic Access Sling has always been one of my favorites, is because you have this very spacious front compartment. It doesn't really have any organization in here. You do have a little lanyard for your keys, but I really love the volume that this provides. It's just great for holding sunglasses, a small umbrella, a packable jacket. It provides just a lot of flexibility, and it's just super easy to just manage with the types of items that I would normally like to carry. And so, a sling is always gonna be a really great accessory, to share with your family and friends. And if you're looking for one that's gonna also work as a waist pack and offer a really cool style, then the Civic Access Sling is gonna be one of the best options to take a look at. The Aer City Pack Pro 2 is one of the most well-rounded bags that you can currently get. It works great for travel or your day-to-day. It's offered in a couple of different fabrics and colorways. Here I have the olive color in the ballistic nylon, which I think looks great. It also feels super durable, weather resistant. You have YKK zippers, really premium hardware. It comes in at about 24 liters, so it's a great size that works for, all sorts of different situations. I've used it as a personal item on numerous flights. It slides very easily under the seat in front of you. It can hold a decent amount even for longer days, but it never looks or feels overwhelmingly bulky. And then on the exterior, you have dual external water bottle pockets, some great carrying handles, one on each side, one at the top, an attachment point on the side, and you have a super comfortable harness system, very well padded straps, nice amount of breathability, sternum strap. You also have great padding on the back that's well distributed. You have a nice air channel to provide plenty of ventilation, a luggage pass-through that allows you to stand the bag up on your suitcase while you're traveling. The bag also manages to stand up pretty well on its own, which is a great feature. And then you have a nice organizational layout with a quick access pocket on the front that has a little lanyard with a clip on the inside. You also have another admin compartment that has a good amount of volume and some internal organization, a few slip pockets, and a zippered pocket at the top. That's gonna be great for those essentials that you're grabbing regularly. And then you have a dedicated laptop compartment on the back with a really well padded sleeve that's pulled up off the bottom of the ground. Soft lining on the back, nice amount of space. You also have a slip pocket in here for some additional organization. And then you have a clamshell style opening for easy packing. And this layout is always something that adapts super well to pouches, to anything you want to toss in here, packing cubes. And then you have a sleeve on the back to provide a little bit of separation, a few zippered pockets on the lid. And so it's a layout that I've talked about before, but it continues to work super well. And it's one of the bags that I reach for first whenever I'm heading out. And if you're looking for something that's going to be stylish, durable, and comfortable, this is going to be one of the best options that you can take a look at. If you're a fan of one bag travel and you're looking for something that's a little more lightweight, that's going to offer a good mixture of durability and features, the Pakt Aero travel backpack is going to be a really interesting option to consider. It comes in at 35 liters, so it's going to be very carry-on friendly across domestic and international airlines. It will easily stow in an overhead storage compartment. This new material that Pakt has been using offers plenty of durability and weather resistance. It has a little bit of an X-Pack sort of texture, and I think that it feels great. It looks very cool. And then you have an external water bottle pocket. You can have a couple of handles to allow you to maneuver the bag. You have well-protected zippers to help keep your stuff protected from the elements. On the back, you have a pretty comfortable harness system, good padding here. And then a sternum strap. You have the ability to stow the straps away. You have a padded back panel, luggage pass-through, And then a really great organizational layout. That's one of the things I've always really liked about the Pakt travel backpack is you have some great quick access pockets on the front. Plenty of volume here to handle pouches, toiletries, a little bit of built-in organization, lanyard with a carabiner, and then another quick access pocket on the bottom, again, with a nice amount of volume, so very, very useful. And then you have access to each segment of the bag via the top. So if you need to reach something while you're in transit, you can do so, but you also have the ability to open this up like a suitcase, and then you have two sections to allow you to organize all of your stuff. In the middle, you have a padded laptop sleeve that's also suspended, and so your device is gonna be well protected in between the two segments if you have it with all of your clothes and surrounded by the other things in your bag that'll give it that extra layer of protection, which might not be for everybody, but I think that it's a really unique system. And then you have one section behind the laptop compartment that is pretty open. You can use it to store pouches, clothing. You have a zippered pocket here that is a good spot for anything that's a little bit more sensitive. And then on the other side, you have a mesh divider to another spacious area that, again, is just gonna allow you to really organize in the way that's gonna be best for you and provide you the ability to kind of find what you need pretty easily. And so, very unique layout. I really like the materials here. And again, if you're looking for something that feels durable, but that's also gonna be lighter weight so that you can travel on some of those stricter international airlines, then this is gonna be a really cool option to take a look at. And so that's it. Those are some of the travel and everyday carry accessories that I've been enjoying as of late. Hopefully this video was helpful, and if you have any questions on anything that I covered in the video or suggestions for similar gear that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I'll make sure to include links in the description below to some of the other roundup videos that I've been doing throughout the year at various categories and price points if you're looking for other ideas. I'll also include links to the roundup videos that I've done where I've shared my favorite new bags of the year, favorite travel bags, daily bags, and if you have ideas for other roundup videos that you'd like to see, please let me know about those as well. And I want to thank you for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.